Let's talk YA thrillers, aka the scariest books I will read because I really don't like scary things. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Angela and the friend of all the good YA book recs and literary lifestyle tips. We're going to be discussing 6.5-ish of my favorite YA thrillers. I say a half-ish because one is kind of a thriller and kind of not, and you'll see what I mean when we get into this video. But first, before we get started, I wanted to show you guys my outfit. I will put in some b-roll of like the entire outfit since you can only see the top here. It really reminds me of the main character from the young adult contemporary novel that I'm currently working on. She's super cool, kind of like a bi alternative vibe with like wild curly hair, and I feel like this is an outfit she would wear. I'm definitely personally not cool enough to wear this outfit, but I decided why not wear it for a video just for the fun of it and also to embody my main protagonist. I don't know if she would have it. I feel like she'd probably have this unbuttoned. Buttoned, unbuttoned. We can do the video half and half. Anyways, YA thrillers are a new genre, or at least a new to me genre. Like, thrillers have always existed, young adult has always existed, but it's only been in the last year or so that I've kind of seen these two things melding into a new genre or new subgenre that I am absolutely obsessed with. Maybe I became obsessed with these books because of the lack of excitement in my life last year because of social distancing, or maybe I became obsessed with these books because they reminded me of why I should social distance from people, because people are scary and can do criminal things. But whatever the reason was, I really started to adore YA thrillers, and again, these 6.5 are my favorites. Let's start this video off with 3 book recommendations from the young adult thriller queen herself. If you haven't guessed it by now, it is Karen M McManus. Currently, she has 4 books out, and the 4th book, The Cousins, I haven't read at the time of recording this video. However, I intend to do a reading vlog when I read that book. So if I have read that book by the time that this video comes out, I will insert up in the cards the Cousins reading vlog so you guys can all check it out. I think when I do that video, I'm gonna make it like really eerie and thrillery just to have some fun with it. But these first 3 books I actually got from the library, so I don't have the physical copies of the books. The first book is the first one I read by her, and that's Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M McManus. In Two Can Keep a Secret, we follow 2 twins as they move from California to their grandmother's house in a sleepy New England town. In this town in the past, when their mother and her twin were in high school, a person started kidnapping the homecoming competitors, including their aunt. Now that they're moved back into town, the kidnappings all of a sudden start up again. The one twin is on the homecoming court, so they have to figure it out before she disappears as well. This book is a page-turning standalone read. I highly recommend it, and the setting of a sleepy New England town is perfect for a YA thriller. When I was reading this book, I honestly had a lot of nostalgia for high school, even though the actual plot is something that never happened in my high school. Karen M McManus really just did a really great job of kind of getting that small town high school feel in this book. Plus, the twins work at a haunted house, which is so awesome. And did I mention that it's in New England, as in like Gilmore Girls in New England? The next book I'm going to discuss by Karen M McManus is probably her most famous book, and that is One of Us is Lying. One of Us is Lying starts with 5 students in detention, and only 4 of these students leave the detention alive. From there, the 4 students that were in detention with the dead student have to figure out who killed that dead student, while the town and the media are framing them for his murder. And of course, true to the title, there are some lies to complicate the plot. This book also has a techno-suspense element to it because the boy who died ran a gossip app about the school. The app starts sending out their deepest, darkest secrets to the entire school as they start to investigate his death. This book is super duper amazing, and I love the techno-suspense element to it. In general, thrillers that have that techno-suspense Black Mirrors element to them are some of my favorite thrillers. The next book I'm going to recommend is actually the companion novel slash sequel to this this book, and it is called One of Us is Next by Karen M McManus. One of Us is Next follows the younger siblings of the 4 students from One of Us is Lying as they deal with their own issue involving an app. An app starts popping up around the school which gives truth or dares to a bunch of different students at the school, and if you don't complete the truth or dare, your deepest, darkest secret is revealed to everyone. So the 4 younger siblings, of course, are the target of these truths and dares, and they have to do all these wild truths and dares in order that their deepest, darkest secrets don't come out. At the same time, they have to figure out who's sending these truths and dares in order to stop this from happening, because with each truth or dare that is sent out, the stakes escalate until they're put in situations which put their lives at risk. I will say a little caveat here. While One of Us is Next is good, it is not as good as One of Us is Lying. I do think it is a super enjoyable read, and it's fun to be able to pop back into that particular world, but it's probably my least favorite thriller on this list. However, it did make my list of favorite thrillers, so that obviously means I did enjoy it. Moving on from Karen M McManus, who has probably taken up about half of this reading recommendations video, I have another techno suspense thriller that kind of reminds me of One of Us is Lying, but on an even more hardcore, sci-fi speculative level. That is Take Me With You by Ultrabotto, and this book is about 4 students. I don't know why there's always these quartets of students in thriller novels. They all get a message from the school's messaging app that they all need to meet the music teacher in the music room after school. When they get to the music room, the teacher is not there, but there is this little box thing sitting on his desk, and it starts to glow up and give them rules that they have to follow. They have to keep following the rules and bring the box around with them everywhere, or else the box will hurt those that they love. From here, it's a balance of trying to obey the box and trying to figure out where this box came from and how they can get rid of it. I like to describe this book as kind of Karen M McManus meets Black Mirror, and it might be a good read if you are a sci-fi fantasy type of reader and you really want to start to get more into some thrillers as well. Even if you're not more of a sci-fi fantasy type of reader and you just like good thrillers in general, this book is definitely still worth the read. I couldn't put it down, and I became obsessed with knowing what was happening in this book. The next recommendation I have just came out this January. Oh wait, half the video is gonna be buttoned. Anyways, the next book just came out this January and I absolutely adore it. It is Every Single Lie by Rachel Vincent. Unlike the others so far on this list, Every Single Lie is a little bit more of a grittier story. It takes place in a sleepy Tennessee town. Every Single Lie follows the protagonist Beckett on the day after she's broken up with her boyfriend. When she gets to school that day, obviously very distraught over the breakup, she finds a dead baby in the locker room. Okay, so let me just stop here and say that when I first saw that it was gonna be about a dead baby, I was a little bit off put by that. However, the author does a really good job of making it really believable and also weaving in some real world issues with the dead baby plotline. So if you can get over the fact that the person who's died is a baby, it is a really great YA thriller. So back to the plotline, she finds this dead baby in the locker room, but not only is it in the locker room, it is in the bag of her ex-boyfriend who she just broke up with. Obviously, she wants to figure out whose dead baby this is, and at the same time, the entire town as well as some national media start to blame her and think she's the mother because she's the one who found it, giving her an extra motivation to find out who the actual mom is, so the blame is taken off of her. And of course, this one has another techno element to it because people around Twitter start threatening our main character, and there's a really heavy Twitter influence to the plot, which again, I like because I like techno suspense thrillers. The next thriller on this list is quite a popular one and was probably the first young adult thriller I ever read, and that is Sadie by Courtney Summers. Sadie follows a girl named Sadie, surprise, as she goes on a revenge plot/trip in order to get back at the guy who murdered her younger sister. On this trip for vengeance against her sister's murderer, she finds out some secrets she wasn't expecting to find. This book is really interesting too because it's kind of a mixed medium story. So half of it is told from first person Sadie's point of view, and the other half of it is actually told through podcast scripts because a popular crime thriller podcast decided to highlight this story as one of their seasons. Plus, this thriller might be the grittiest, darkest thriller thriller on this list, and it has kind of an anti-hero because our main character is actually trying to murder someone. Now that we've gone through the 6 recommendations on the list, I have a half-ish recommendation. So a lot of times I read young adult books that I think are going to be thrillers because they have kind of that overall tone or mood, and then they turn out to not be thrillers. Is this just me? Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever read a book like this as well. But one book I read that was kind of like this, which I really enjoyed, was Look by Zan Romanoff. I'd also probably add this book to a list of my favorite underhyped books because it is really good, but I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Lulu, our protagonist, has 10,000 followers who have seen almost every aspect of her life, from her making out with a girl at a party to the messy breakup with her ex-boyfriend after she made out with a girl at this party. However, Lulu does have some secrets that her followers don't know, but as the plot goes on and she starts to fall head over heels in love with this new girl who just moved to town, those secrets threaten to get out. Again, we kind of have this thrillery vibe with all these lies and suspense, but it is a little bit more of a romance or maybe a dark contemporary. But if you want to read something that is more just dark contemporary but has a darker tone to it and a lot of suspense and a lot of page-turning plot twist, I definitely recommend checking out Look. Anyways, those are 6.5 YA thriller recommendations. They will all be linked down below in case you want to check any of them out. And I'd also love to know in the comments what your favorite young adult thrillers are. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. I post reading recommendations every single Saturday, and then some sort of other type of video, whether it be a reading vlog, a book haul, or a writing vlog, every single Wednesday. If you are subscribed, or if you're not subscribed, I would also really appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up so other book lovers can find this video and we can talk about books with even more people. As always, I will see you in the comments down below and in my next video.